didn't reinvent its clamshell style foldable, but the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 looks ready to hold on to its value foldable crown. Samsung's mid-year Unpacked event delivered everything we expected, with some new Galaxy Buds 2 Pro, a new duo of smart watches across the Galaxy Watch 5 and Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, and a pair of foldables in the Galaxy Z Fold 4 and the Galaxy Z Flip 4. The new foldable keeps the signature clamshell design and comes with an improved display, dual cameras, and a flagship chipset. The screen's diagonal is 6.7 inch, which is the same as the predecessor, but that's where the similarities end. The new OLED panel has a better hinge that bends in a pear shape to close completely when folded. It supports HDR10 Plus and comes with 144Hz refresh rate. Also, Motorola dropped the weird notch with the panel tucking underneath and introduced a punch hole design for the 32-megapixel front-facing camera. Now, we don't want to call it a selfie shooter, as selfies will likely be taken with the dual camera on the back, in combination with the external 2.7-inch OLED screen that apparently remains unchanged. The main camera has a 50-megapixel sensor and OIS identical to what is used on the Edge 30 Pro and S30 Pro. The secondary camera is a 13-megapixel ultra-wide-angle shooter with 121 degrees field of view. The previous two Moto Razr phones had Snapdragon 7 series chipsets, but finally the Moto Razr 2022 comes with a flagship Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. Other specs include support for RAW shooting, MyUI 4.0 interface that redesigned some apps to work on the outer screen as well, dual speakers with Dolby Atmos support, and proper DC dimming. Although the Flip 4 focuses on compact portability to the Z Fold 4's productivity, it doesn't skimp on performance, with Qualcomm's latest Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 silicon running to the show. That's the same chipset you will find in the latest Android flagships, including Asus' newest Zenfone 9 and its gaming bohemia, the ROG Phone 6. Although in this instance the Snapdragon comes twinned with a more modest 8GB of RAM, whereas the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 features 12GB. You won't find any of Samsung's own Exynos chips in this latest crop of foldables, meaning performance should be more consistent. Wherever you pick one up, some of Samsung's flagships, namely in the Samsung Galaxy S series, run on either Snapdragon or Exynos chips, depending on where in the world you find them, and as a result, aspects like performance and camera behavior can vary pretty distinctly between the two versions, usually in the Snapdragon's favor. As for battery life, while charging remains the same as on the Flip 3, support for up to 25 watt when wired and wireless charging at up to 15 watt. As a direct result of user feedback, the Flip 4 bumps the battery capacity of its predecessor up from 3300 mAh to 3700 mAh, which should allow it to more confidently make it through a day. The Moto Razr 2022 is already available for pre-order on the company's Chinese website in only one color, black. Prices are 6,000 Chinese yuan and it makes $890 for an 8GB and 128GB storage variant. We don't if and when Motorola will bring it overseas. For now, we have heard practically nothing on the matter. It is over. Motorola finally launched the Moto Razr 2022 and the phone is everything we expected it to be. The new foldable keeps the signature clamshell design and comes with an improved display, dual cameras, and a flagship chipset. You will find 3 cameras on Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4, which at first blush look very familiar to those on the Z Flip 3. The foldable display sports a centrally positioned 10 megapixel punch hole snapper, while the two sensors next to the cover display on the back are comprised of an OIS supported main 12 megapixel sensor and 12 megapixel ultra wide. Our initial hands-on time with the Z Flip 4 didn't unearth any groundbreaking real-world improvements to picture quality, but we couldn't exactly stroll out the door of the company's press preview with a pre-release device in hand to put it to the test. We'll have a better idea come the full review. So, Samsung promises brighter stills and videos from the main snapper thanks to larger pixels on the 12 megapixel primary sensor, while the rest of the camera hardware appears unchanged. Both YS and VDIS have been improved, with the latter being particularly handy in light of the new FlexCam feature designed to properly orient the UI when holding the phone like a 90s camcorder, whilst the hinge is folded to a 90-degree position. The cover display experience has been expanded, meaning you can just jump through aspect ratios, grab quick shots including portraits, photos, and start shooting video on the cover display while unfolding and switching to the main display without interrupting recording. Battery life is often struggle for folding for smartphones, and this has been especially true for previous Razr foldables. Thankfully, the Razr 2022 is making some progress to address this. Prior to the phone's full announcement, Motorola confirmed that the Razr 2022 would have a 3500 mAh battery capacity. While that's relatively small compared to non-folding phones, the small size of flipping smartphones means that batteries have always been smaller than the average. In addition, this is larger than the 3300 mAh battery in the Z Flip 3, but the Z Flip 4 is got 3700 mAh battery, and the 2800 battery used in Razr 5G combined with the improved power efficiency of the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, the Razr 2022 should be better in this department.